Good evening, everyone, and greetings to you all, depending where you are watching us from this evening. My name is Amerley Asante-Armar, and you are tuned into the Women in Political Leadership series, streaming live from Ghana on the Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa Facebook page, the United States of Africa Facebook page, and also the United States of Africa YouTube channel. Depending what platform you are on, please do take a moment to like, subscribe, share, depending where you are. It's great to be able to share the information that we have to far and wide. So welcome to the Women in Political Leadership series. I am your host. And if this is your first time, special welcome to you. This platform is really an open, frank one in which greetings queen, in which we talk about the underrepresentation of women in the political arena, why that is, and how we encourage more of our queens, our sisters, to enter that arena to help improve the nations wherever they may be. So today I'm very happy to have one of our returning guests to the show, Ms. Yeharerwerk Gashaw. Some of you may have remembered when she was with us late last year, and so it's wonderful to have her back. Ms. Gashaw has many titles. She is the Vice President of the United States of Africa, of which is GPAN's vision. And as well as being president and founder of the Ethiopian National Government in Exile. So please do give her a warm virtual welcome to the platform before we get into our discussion. Greetings, Yehara.
Greeting, GA, and everybody, brothers and sisters.
Yes, thank you so much. It's especially wonderful to have Miss Gashaw, I'll call her Yehara, back on the show, because there is a lot that is going on. We know that there's a lot going on around the world, on the continent of Africa, lots happening everywhere. In humanity, as well as in politics, we know that the US have finally sworn in their new president, Joe Biden, and first female vice president, Kamala Harris. And, success, we wish them the best of success. We will see in time what that yields. But we want to talk about other women also in politics. And Yehara, would you be able to just give people just a brief background about the political aspect of your background? We shared in the last one, but in case people didn't watch the show that we did previously.
Yes, I thank God first, as usual, about this interview today, and thank you to Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know where to start. Simply speaking, yeah, I'm the first Ethiopian woman that found a political organization, inclusive political organizations, in 1986, when I was in my 20s, because women were not included, and none of the Ethiopian political organizations. So it's not as a leader, as well as part of the executive committee or any committee, So I'm the founder of the Ethiopian National Government in Exile, at the beginning Ethiopian Women for Peace and Democracy. At the same day, I found also African Women for Peace and Democracy. Ghanaian sister Sylvia was the vice president at that time in the 80s. She was the elderly, person at the time. Yeah. And so since then, I have been, advocating for inclusive government in Ethiopia. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I know that was a bit unfair of me to ask you because we could actually spend the whole hour speaking about your activity in the political arena in the past. However, there are things going on right now, right here, right now, across the world. We know that there is some form of pandemic. I say that loosely, but there is a pandemic of one form or another around the world, and we know that various features, statistics are showing us or are highlighting to us the women in the various countries who are leading on those agendas, and so they have said to have been faring better, have been handling the pandemic well, so we give kudos to them because we're in very uncertain times. The pandemic is one, if you like, crises we are living in right now. And as I said, there are many things that are happening across the world and across Africa. And today I want to take the opportunity to speak to Yehara about what is happening in Ethiopia, whether you know or not aware, because I haven't seen widespread media coverage. Yehara, can you perhaps tell us a little bit about what it is that you are involved in, or how you are involved in handling this, what can only be described as genocide in Ethiopia?
Yes. Thank you for asking. The genocide in Ethiopia, it sounds like it's it's unbelievable. Became like, oh my, phone is acting crazy. Sorry, I've been having problems today.
We can hear you and see you clearly. Do go ahead.
So yeah, so the genocide in Ethiopia, became like a norm. Every other week, um, there's genocide in the same area against the same people, the Amara ethnic group, and also, around the so-called Oromia, which is the fake, region in the name of the Oromo ethnic group, which never existed before 1991, anyway, was formed by the rebel groups. So, yeah, if you're an Orthodox Christian, and if you're an Amara, and as well as, the uh, other people from ethnic groups such as the the Gomo people, the Walaita, I mean, you name it. The genocide has been going on, and so it's somehow there's a campaign, organized campaign by some foreign governments and controlling
Yeah.
their media, quite the media. We think, um, you know, uh, independent media, but when it comes to Ethiopian genocide, everybody is quiet except the African social media, and
Okay.
some African media. So nobody's talking about it, And by talking today on the United States of America and the GPAN platform here, it means a lot to me as well as to Ethiopians, especially, to the targeted um, ethnic, the majority of Ethiopia, the Amara. So I'm not advocating just for an Amara, just to make clear, for uh, just an group. I'm for the whole, yeah, uh, and I'm Africanist, so so I can't focus. I don't focus um, on one ethnic group, or favoring one ethnic group, but whichever ethnic group, is attacked, we have to voice that as, humanitarian, Pan-African activist, since I was 12 years old. Yeah, we have to voice. So people have to know about this. They have to help, the Ethiopian people, the Orthodox Christians, from all part of the, the Ethiopian ethnic groups, almost like 83, ethnic groups, and the Amaras. We need help. We need help from our brothers and sisters, the Africans on the continent, and in the diaspora, as well as in the diaspora, because there are a lot of key people also. When it comes to American media, they have leadership, and the decision makers, like such as the Africans, born in Africa and born in the United States as a second generation, as well as the African American brothers and sisters. They need really to help to save life in Ethiopia, before it become worse than the Rwanda. The Rwanda genocide was just one-time campaign, but this has been going on for 31 years, especially for the last 3 years since we have the new prime minister. It has been the genocide has been taking place, in front of the authorities, the police, the special force. It's like also the government is involved indirectly. It's not only the Oromo Liberation Front or the Tigray Liberation Front. It's the government. Within the government, there are some authorities that are organizing, working with the criminals. So this is what's going on in Ethiopia. Last week, there was about 350 people were genocide, and the pregnant woman, and the babies, kids, they kill everybody. If you're an Amara, doesn't matter. Your age, it's not important. If you identify as an Amara, they will massacre you. They will, you'll be part of the genocide. Victimized. Or if you're Orthodox,
Yes.
So it's very important. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Very important that we get the message out there. Unfortunately, there are more of these stories as we look across Africa, but it's good to and not just Africa. We talk about across the world, but of our people. We've had features on speaking to our West Papuan brothers and sisters. So it is important that we call out everything, and because we are all one. Sometimes it can be difficult because there's so much going on. We don't know, how many causes to help, but at least on our platforms we can voice what it is that is going on, and call in the help. One of our Caribbean sisters is saying that she's feeling your pain. I agree, because we're one sister. One people. What do we say? We are Africa. We are one, no matter where we are in the world. And Sister Yeharerwerk, given what's going on now, practically speaking, apart from yourself, are there many other women involved in trying to address this issue?
Not really. Only probably 4 women, 2 in Ethiopia, and
Okay.
2, let me say 4 in the United States, or 1 in London, UK. Her name
Okay.
Gash, and then we have Dr. Sanaid. In fact, she formed the Prevention Genocide in Ethiopia, and I'm part of the
Yeah.
executive committee. And hopefully we'll have her, probably next time. Yeah, and then we have another one, Dr. Ababa. Yeah, and in Ethiopia we have Maskaram Abarra, she's an educator and activist, and have also a journalist. I forgot her name. Yeah, last name Muhammad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
can
you
you
think
believe
that?
all those women? I mean, look, we have the prime minister, I mean, selected, we talked about it, last time about
Yeah.
this, the woman leadership, 50% in Ethiopia, he claimed, and, 50% female. It's true in terms of the number, but their power, they have no interest to help the people. So, all this genocide and the killing, it happens in front of them. So the so-called the president and the attorney general, none of them come out, and speak against the genocide or the abduction. The abducted girl, by the way, are forgotten, by them. So
Yes.
I
I
recognize
think
4 women.
that's
Yeah, I recognize 4 women because they're doing, as much as they can, with their ability. Just 4 women, that's for real. Because I don't want to include all the selected women that are not, um, voicing, or doing anything just because they're, leaders or selected as leaders,
yeah.
or just because they're part of some political organization, where they are used themselves as what I call vehicle, So just 4 women,
Yes.
or 2 in
I
Ethiopia.
mean,
So
without even knowing the numbers of the men, it sounds small. The number sounds very few, considering what's going on. One of our viewers has flagged that, in Cameroon, they've been going through similar issues, for the past 3 years.
yes,
So
yeah,
we have solidarity in a bad sense there. The fact that across the continent in different countries we have these crises, where our own people are being taken out, and people fleeing to other countries, in this case Nigeria, and hardly hearing of this in the media. It's not so long ago we were talking about SARS in Nigeria, and our brothers and sisters there was asking for help just to get the message out because their communication systems were shut down. So it is to highlight that when we can, in our own spaces, that we do need to talk about these things, especially when they're not being talked about anywhere else. Sister Yahara, do you think that it's very important, the point that you made, that on paper, statistically, in Ethiopia, you could say you can kind of have 50-50 representation, yeah, 50% male, 50% female representation, I guess, in parliament. But what you're saying is, practically, what I'm hearing is that practically that 50% of women don't necessarily further the aims that would improve things for women or for people or for the people as a whole.
they're just there as a representative and support of the prime minister, not for the people. And when they are asked sometimes, they say, well, we don't want to be insulted. So the insult to them is like big deal, or, it's as if they don't like to be disrespected. So
Yeah.
their selection, they have nothing to do with the everyday people. I mean, the population. I mean, so they don't care about the people. So I mean, sometimes even it's really, I don't know how to describe them, because we've been talking about the same problem, the same fake leadership in Africa, in every part of
Yeah.
Africa. No woman
Yeah.
have right to begin with. But this woman, like this, like, let me focus on Ethiopia for now. The
Okay.
so-called 50%, you know, um, part of the Ethiopian uh, government. Okay, I mean, they can come together. At least they can come together and
Mm-hmm.
advise, the prime minister about, and if about the concern. They should be concerned
Yeah.
about reduction, about the genocide, about um, the 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 division, about
Yes.
this ethnic based and language based fake um, constitution, all that. We're talking about well-read women. We're not talking about uh, just some woman, from um, high school or secondary,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
we're talking about women that went to university, to college, and
Mm-hmm.
grad and worked. Okay, and we're talking about women that was complaining about their rights. All right,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
once they are appointed, as selected uh, silent leaders, they love it. They're enjoying it. I'm telling you, they don't care. They really don't care. You know, they don't care about Ethiopian unity. They don't care about people, constitution, which we've been asking. My mission has been, for the last 30 years to abolish, you know, the the separatist constitution and replace it with inclusive, mutual agreement, new constitution. That's the only way out. In order to bring Ethiopia, or
Mm-hmm.
the way it used to be like peaceful place, Ethiopia for everybody. We need to abolish the separatists based on ethnic group and ethnic language constitution. Let me tell you. Let me give a good example to the viewers, because about
Okay.
Ethiopia and many African problem. But let
Mm-hmm.
me emphasize to our brothers and sisters that are watching from the continent and from all over the globe, wherever they are. Let's say you live, you are from Accra, okay, and you will not be allowed, you'll not be allowed to live in another state of Ghana. It's based on ethnicity, so they divide Ethiopia. Despite the country has officially over 83 group, okay,
Okay.
they divided the country into 9 regions with 9 language, 9 ethnic group. The rest,
Mm-hmm.
they're not recognized anymore. They deny their right as Ethiopian, Ethiopians, and because also they claim where the population, there's no enough population in most, part of the ethnicity, and
Yes.
therefore they put everybody together, like, Oromia, for example.
Yeah.
So everybody is Oromo now, But anyway, if, like I said, if you are from Kinshasa, for example, we take also Zaire, now Congo, okay? You can only live in Kinshasa. You can't, as a Congolese, you have no right to go to Goma and live there. If you're Nigerian,
Wow.
only, let's say if you are Igbo, I'm just saying as an example,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, your right to live, to open any business or whatever, anyway, you are obligated to live only as Lagos state, okay, ethnic group. You want to go and open business and live as a Nigeria, person or citizen in Abuja? Oh no, you can't. No, you need a kind of special permission. Means like, you need like a foreigner, you need a special visa, like, to stay there and open business in Abuja. It's something like that, to make you understand,
So it's like
Yeah.
tribalism.
So that exactly. So that, yeah. So people, the Ethiopian people in general, we are denied our citizenship. Okay, we have no right. You can't, we can't say, we're Ethiopians. I mean, if we live in Ethiopia,
Yes.
so we have to say, well, I'm from this region, like the Amara region, the Oromo region, the Tigray region, the Somali region. So
Yes.
it's not, yeah, it used to be, the name of a state by the state, like the Sidamo was the state, okay? The Hararge was the
Okay.
state, okay? But now it's, the state, the name of the state is replaced by each ethnic group, a total of 9, all right? Imagine
Okay.
3 ethnic group, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Become
It's
9 ethnic group, So that's
that's
what's going on in
crazy.
Ethiopia. Africans, the rest of Africans, the rest of Africans don't really stop there in Ethiopia,
Mm.
will go, trust me, that will continue from Ethiopia to the neighboring country. And then, this is to divide the native Africans, the owner of
The
Africans,
continent. Yes.
not for Arabs, the migrants, Arabs. It's not targeting the Arabs. It's targeting the indigenous people, yeah.
Yes. I
So
understand.
Ethiopia, as you know, uh, it's the freedom land. Ethiopia, the Pan-Africanism comes from Ethiopianism, okay, because of
Mm.
the independency of Ethiopia, and the
Mm-hmm.
only independent flag, that has never been colonized. In fact, your country, Ghana, the
Mm-hmm.
flag was uh, uh, adopted from Ethiopian, the free flag,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Nkrumah to make sure that to have, the same flag, and so
Yes.
first they want to mess up, they want to divide, the independent, the only independent free country in Africa, because that's the symbol of the world, of the oppressed people, the hope. So Ethiopia is a good role model if you think about it, and other people. So they, when foreign government come, whether they come, in group or single, Ethiopians, unite to fight,
Yeah.
to defend, our country. So the only way is now, for the colonizers is to, divide us through this ethnic, federalism, which was designed in Berlin in 1894, 95. And so they're using it on us. So we need to unite through, the Pan-Africanism, especially the hope is the Pan-Africanism platform. Yeah, that's
Sure.
the unity, the freedom will come. We need to organize our people. We need to be, stronger, more organized, more really active, in terms of Pan-Africanism. So the United States of Africa, as well as the GPAN, the platform as voice, this both go hand in hand. We need to bring
Yes.
more of, the female leader, and as well as sometimes also our brothers, so we can discuss, together and educate our people. So educating president, it doesn't mean anything these days. We need to educate the mass. We need to educate the people of Africa, on the continent and in diaspora to have voice. That's why, nobody's talking about, because we're not reaching out to the people, to everyday people, we're
Yes, on the
targeting,
ground, that's true.
yeah, president leaders only, always.
Mm. So, yes, I'm glad you said about inviting our brothers as well. It's not that with the vision or the mission about increasing more women leaders. It's not to increase them and completely, exclude the men, because as you said, at least what you were doing with the Ethiopian government in exile, you wanted to create something that was inclusive. So that's important. But Sister Yahara, given what you said about the example or the example or the reality in Ethiopia, in Ethiopia, where there seems to be quite a balanced male female representation in politics, but that we don't yet see any, I shouldn't say any, but we don't yet see the benefit of that in terms of how you feel the women are representing the country. Do you still feel that it will be beneficial to us as a people, as each nation and as a people, to have more women in politics?
It has advantage and disadvantage. The advantage probably will be when it comes to young people, the young girls that don't understand yet, they're not matured yet to understand, uh, the real concerned, leader, and those, just, self-centered. Because let's say, a 7 years old and 8 years old, little girl, when she sees a female president of her country, she walks first. It's like, I want to be president like her,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah. So from that perspective, yes, it helps because it motivates, the young
Mm,
girls. But on the other side, there is, of course, a disadvantage, also because they became now obstacle. For example, I will give you a good example. There is an election board, that was also formed based on selected female and male, or yeah,
yeah.
male, I should say male, but they made the president, a female, okay, an attorney supposedly, supposedly also in the past, activist, the way people see, think about her, but she has never been activist to me. I mean, political activist, human rights, civil rights activist. She has never been that. She was recruited, okay, and selected. So she serves this vice president at this time. I mean, the prime minister. Look, this woman who went also to prison was the political leaders at the time. After she was recruited and selected, I think she was involved just for 1 month. And so when the former president or prime minister, abolish the political organization and put the leaders, in prison. So she was taken with this political leaders anyway. But because being in prison or that will not make you a civil rights activist or any activist anyway. So so if you're selected,
yes, I agree.
You're selected and you've been told, there's something that you're going to benefit, you're going to be president, so it means that you already have an idea to become a president. If the organization is selected, not even individuals, but the political party is supposed to be elected. So after the election, the executive committee had the right to select among them president and vice president. So this woman was hoping to become vice president within a month of her recruitment and selection. Okay, so she was people took all that and they were sorry for her, which I did also. I mean, I don't want anybody to go to prison for nothing just because they're political activists, or human rights activists. And something to tell you is that now at this time, she is in charge of the election commission, I believe, or board, whatever the name is, but now she is with the prime minister, the man that selected her, recruited her. So now she's working against Ethiopian people, and she, some of the political parties at the end, so election is coming in, I believe in May. And so most of the political parties, are excluded. And so, despite she's not decision maker, she takes, the order and so she announced it, and so we have this situation. So, I don't know what you call it. There's no advantage. They're obstacle for women like you and I. We are for the people. We're not here to become, we're not here to benefit anything, but we want our people to benefit. We want democracy.
Yes, agreed.
We want the young people, especially, I want the young people to lead the country. But they need to go, through the democratic, democratic
assistance.
election.
Yeah. So then the question becomes, if we are saying, not that we're saying that we're perfect, but if we are saying that, we need more women like ourselves who are in it, who are seeking to purely to improve things for our people and not necessarily for ourselves, the question becomes, how do we encourage more like-minded women to step into the political arena, knowing that there are some women who are selected to be there to support a certain agenda.
Yeah, you see, young women like you, we're read, and open-minded, enlightened, that understand the global politics, and then what, also democracy, um, the right for everybody, inclusiveness. I mean, so a woman like you, young woman like you, need to I'm sorry, cutting the phone today.
That's okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there
That's
was a
okay.
call.
Okay.
You're there?
Yes, I can hear you.
So,
Can you hear me?
okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah. So people like you needs
Mm-hmm.
to start, running for the office. The more people
Yes.
like you, run,
Mm-hmm.
um, for presidency in every
Yes.
African country, the more our brothers also understand the importance of, election. We don't, Africans don't need any more a selected person or those who are taking, the power by means of force, because, whoever comes as a rebel, I mean, by force, he only lives by force. We need to stop, I mean, this war. We're losing many people, as well as, the economy. If we don't have, stable political stability in every African country, there's no way to develop Africa, okay, in terms of education. I mean, you name it. So to develop Africa in many ways, we need young people like you,
Mm-hmm.
educated, okay? So the more we have, people like that, the more other leaders also will understand,
Okay.
becoming, a leader that, to serve the country and the people, instead of individual, and, whoever is president, you know, yeah,
Ex-
that's what it is. And we have the opportunity. Look at you. I mean, you're one of the good role models. You are
oh, thank you.
organizing to run in Ghana for president. Trust me. I mean, you are a role model, um, for many African young women, men also, because, um, I'm sure, all those people that worked with you during, the trying, to campaign, they learn from you. Learn, that you are independent thinker,
Mm-hmm.
So the more we have independent thinkers like you, the more the young African men also understand the inclusiveness and the equality, So that's what yeah, we can do that. And then again, the Pan-Africanism
Yes.
platform, is the way to go,
Mm-hmm.
to motivate, to promote, to enlighten the young people, both male and female, yeah. So
Yeah. Thank
we
you
need
very
to
much.
educate our people often, with topic. In fact, we should have a series. I suggest, also, to United States of Africa, to the executive committee. They're working on it. We're working, actually working on it. So to have, this campaign 2021. That's one of the projects,
Thank you.
gonna
Yeah, I mean,
work
one of
on,
our, sorry to
yeah,
cut you. One of our viewers, yeah, agrees with
yeah,
you. Like we need more women running. We really need to increase the numbers. And it was with, what can I say? It was pleasing to see that in Ghana last year in our elections in December, that's the first time that we had 3 women successfully, running for the presidency, including the wife of one of our former presidents, Jerry John Rawlings, who we
yeah.
sorry about the dogs. We laid to rest today, so we send condolences to the family. But as you say, we need concentration of numbers. I think we have lost Sister Yahara. Hopefully, she will be back soon. I was just agreeing with her and what Sister Shirley, one of our viewers, has said, that to really make an impact, we need a caucus of women to step up into leadership, and political leadership at that, because as you heard, um, it's not necessarily every woman, no judgment, but it's not just in the same way. I think it's just in the same way. It's not that every man that we may consider are going to want or are going to be able to achieve the best for their people. But if you only have a few that enter the game, you only have few to pick from. So we need more women to step up, to give variety. Remember, the whole issue is to have a balance, to balance out the issue, to balance out the energy of the male and the female. We have more women in the world globally. And so it makes more sense that even if we don't have more women than men in politics, it has to be a much better value. It has to be a much better balance, so that the decisions that are made are truly made with everybody in mind. There are things that, and it sounds very obvious for me to say it, the fact that men can make decisions on behalf of women who are going through things that men will never go through. So that's not a judgment. They're just not in a position to have that viewpoint because they don't necessarily experience those things. Some would say the same of women making decisions for the men, again, around things that we ourselves cannot experience. So our viewpoint would be very different. So the balance is, for me, and not necessarily equality, but the balance is the only way that we can have decisions that truly represent and reflect the good of all the people. So to those who may feel, that we talk so much about women in politics, it's because for a long time, we've had men. And they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You have to change things up. So yes, men can't solely make, decisions for things that women experience. Somebody said to me quite recently that, just talking about Ghana, that we will not have a situation where they have enough toilets, like enough public toilets in Ghana, unless the women are in charge, because it's usually the women who need to use the toilets. The men can go and pee anywhere. So just the basic things that we need to have in place so that everybody is considered. It is from the viewpoint of the woman, because the woman will always think of her children, and her children includes the men, the boys. That's the holistic picture that we are seeking to achieve via Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa, Global Pan-African Network, Global Pan-Africanism Network, Queen's Club, but it is all to have improved the quality of life for the family. It is for the family. Africans, we don't do this battle of the sexes. That is not our way. So we're trying to go home to our roots, where a man was a man and we respected, acknowledged, and recognized him as a man. And a woman was a woman and we acknowledged and respected her for being a woman. And they worked together, not in competition. That is the goal, for our people to be really, to thrive together.
I think the network is buffing.